Welcome at this hour to our special coverage. You're watching this ceremony live from Canberra, the start of a 41-gun salute to mark the passing of His Royal Highness, Prince Philip.
The Australian Federation Guard firing 6 ceremonial howitzers in the forecourt of Parliament House following the ancient tradition of saluting members of royalty.
This is an incredible ceremony, the start of official services that begin now on a quite fantastic day in Canberra.
Good afternoon and welcome to a special edition of 7 News marking the death of Prince Philip. He passed away peacefully at Windsor Castle overnight. Let's have a live look at Windsor Castle right now, where he had been living with the Queen during the various pandemic lockdowns. Her Majesty now in mourning for her life partner, who she once described as her strength and stay, the Duke lying in rest ahead of his private funeral.
Tonight, there are tributes from Australia and around the world for a man who put his love for the royal family and duty to country above all else. Let's have a look, though, at that gun salute happening in Canberra.
Number 6, fire!
As we said there, the start of the 21-gun salute, the 41-gun salute, rather, that's happening in Canberra right now.
What an incredible moment after a day of mourning around the world.
During the evening, of course, the services will begin in the United Kingdom as well as they come into their new day. But obviously in this part of the world, it's part of the protocol. It was launched for the passing of a royal. Well, Prince Philip served in the Royal Navy during World War II and became Britain's longest-serving consort to the Crown.
For 73 years, Prince Philip was the Queen's faithful shadow, always 2 steps behind. Both are great-great-grandchildren of Queen Victoria. But despite his bloodline, he was born into the Danish and German royal families. Philip's upbringing couldn't be more different. He was born on the island of Corfu, but his family had to flee Greece in exile after a coup. Philip, just 18 months old, was smuggled out in an orange crate. He later found a home and a future with Britain's Royal Navy. A royal visit to his naval college changed his life and history. He was asked to entertain the King's daughters. Elizabeth was just 13. Here they are, playing croquet. It's said she was instantly smitten. They kept in touch, and after the war, love blossomed.
Philip and the Queen is a real love story. I mean, 70-odd years married. They're an incredible double act. When they first met, it was love at first sight, certainly for the Queen, and she has never really looked at anybody since.
They married and had children and moved to Malta, where he was a commander of his own ship. But he had to give that up when his father-in-law died prematurely and his wife took the throne. He knelt before her and swore an oath to serve his wife, the Queen, for the rest of his life.
Rising, he kisses the Queen's cheek and touches the Queen's crown in token of his readiness to help her bear its burden.
He has quite simply been my strength and stay all these years.
Philip was a moderniser and he crashed against convention. Progress prevailed, a new monarch and a new style of monarchy for a new age of mass media. It was Philip who ensured the coronation was televised. As ever with Philip, when duty called, he answered. These revealing images, shot during a royal trip to New Zealand in 1953, were kept private for 70 years. Philip believed the royals must appear more real and more relevant in less deferential times. But his gamble to allow television cameras to record a year in the family's life was an experiment never repeated. Friends joked that while his wife wore the crown, Philip wore the pants. Behind closed doors, he was in charge of the family. the patriarch. It was the Duke who gave William and Harry the courage to follow their mother's coffin at Diana's funeral, promising he would walk beside them every step of the way. Prince Philip dedicated his life to royal duty. He was patron to more than 800 organisations across the Commonwealth, including his Duke of Edinburgh Award. He undertook more than 22,000 solo official engagements, as well as countless others at the Queen's side. At 96, in the forecourt of Buckingham Palace, he saluted the Royal Marines, of which he was the Captain General, his final engagement. There were no more official royal duties, but he was still seen in his most important role, by the Queen's side.
I think that the main lesson that we've learnt is that tolerance is the one essential ingredient of any happy marriage. And you can take it from me that the Queen has the quality of tolerance and abundance.
To his wife, to the monarchy, Philip kept his promise, a loyal servant until the end.
Her Majesty remains at Windsor Castle tonight, where she's been visited by her son and heir, Prince Charles. Our Europe Bureau Chief Hugh Whitfeld is in Windsor. Hugh, hello from here. The Queen is now officially in mourning.
Good afternoon, Michael. Yes, along with the rest of the nation, the UK now officially in mourning for at least the next 8 days. That means that flags on government buildings and royal residences will be flying at half-mast. Interestingly, though, the Royal Standard will not fly at half-mast here at Windsor Castle. That is due to protocol while ever the Queen is in residence. It shows the continuity of the monarchy. Members of Parliament will wear black armbands, as will sporting players at sporting fixtures across the UK this weekend. There will also be a series of gun salutes in the coming hours as well in the 4 nations of the United Kingdom and at a number of Royal Navy bases. That, of course, is to mark Prince Philip's own service in the armed forces. That's all very public, but there is also a very private moment or moments of mourning over these coming days. As you said, Prince Charles has joined the Queen here at Windsor Castle. They have a lot to work through, including signing off on those final funeral arrangements. Just moments after the official announcement, 2 courtiers place a public notice on the railings of Buckingham Palace, a statement from Queen Elizabeth that read, "It is with deep sorrow that Her Majesty the Queen announces the death of her beloved husband, His Royal Highness the Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. Flags now fly at half-mast over Buckingham Palace and across Britain, while throughout the United Kingdom, other tributes like this billboard at Piccadilly Circus in central London."
Prince Philip earned the affection of generations here in the United Kingdom, across the Commonwealth and around the world. He was the longest serving consort in history, one of the last surviving people in this country to have served in the Second World War. We remember the Duke for all of this, and above all, for his steadfast support for Her Majesty the Queen.
Prince Philip was last seen leaving hospital in March after a 28-day stay in which he received treatment for an illness and a heart condition. In line with COVID restrictions, people have been asked not to congregate outside the royal palaces, but many still came to lay flowers, expressing their grief.
Remembering what he's given to the country, to the world, it's wonderful.
It's a person that's been around for all of my life, and I'm really sad.
At Windsor Castle, there's now a growing floral tribute.
My heart just breaks for the Queen and the family because she lost her husband and such a stability in the country, I think, the royal family.
The Queen's consort will likely be buried following a private funeral on the Windsor estate. Prince Philip had expressed his wish for a farewell that was low-key and without fuss. In Windsor, England, Hugh Whitfeld, 7 News.
Public mourning for Prince Philip will be subdued in Britain with COVID restrictions forbidding large gatherings. Sarah Greenhalgh is at Buckingham Palace. Sarah, the Duke of Edinburgh meant so much to so many people in Britain.
And good evening to both of you. Wonderful tributes being paid to Prince Philip here this morning. Huge spreads, as you can imagine, in every British newspaper. The Times has called him a pioneering royal consort who served his adopted country in war and peace. A reference there, of course, to his time in the Royal Navy, especially during the Second World War. Also, much talk of the incredible role he played as the Queen's rock, her main advisor, confidant. She could have asked for no one better to help her through what has been the longest reign in British history. One columnist has said, quote, he became the Queen's supporter, comforter and metaphorical handbag holder. He also became an unofficial national father figure for so many people in this country. I asked my London taxi driver this morning what he thought of the Duke of Edinburgh. He said, I liked the man. He was staunch. He was the Queen's supporter and they have done so much for this country. The palace is trying to discourage the British public, however, from gathering in person in places like here at Buckingham Palace and other royal residences across the UK due to ongoing COVID-19 restrictions and concerns. But many of the people I spoke to yesterday said they just felt compelled to be here. They wanted to show their support to the Queen and to the royal family. I think there was this feeling that the Iron Duke, as he was nicknamed, would go on forever. We saw him leave hospital just 3.5 weeks ago after that month-long stay. He did look frail, but I think so many people were surprised to see him leave at all, and that was testament to his character. He was determined to get back to Windsor Castle, where he has spent the past few weeks and days of his life with the Queen. Also a sense of disappointment here this morning that he didn't quite make it to his 100th birthday, passing away just 62 days shy of that milestone, guys.
It is a shame. OK, thank you, Sarah.
Well, from their home in California, Harry and Meghan have posted a very short tribute to Prince Philip on their website. Our correspondent Tim Lester's at Montecito in Santa Barbara, where the Duke and Duchess of Sussex now live. Tim, hello to you. Is there any word on whether they'll travel back to the UK for the funeral?
Michael, no word yet. In fact, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex here have said precious little today. In fact, one line of tribute to Harry's grandfather on their web page, saying they thank him for his service and that he will be greatly missed. Many on social media commenting how brief and lacking in emotion that seems to be, particularly because Harry is known to have been very fond and very close to his grandfather. And that is why many royal pundits are now saying really it would be unacceptable and unthinkable for Harry not to make it back for the funeral. They fully expect he will. He also has great respect for his grandmother, the Queen. All of that adds up to him having to make the trip. But there are challenges, most particularly the coronavirus restrictions on UK residents and others going into the United Kingdom. That would mean that Harry will need to travel pretty quickly, but there does seem to be enough flexibility in those provisions for him to make the journey back. The other thing royal pundits are pointing to is Meghan's pregnancy. The Duchess of Sussex, likely now about 2/3 of the way through her pregnancy for the daughter they are expecting mid-year, seems to make it unlikely that she would want to do the 12-hour flight twice to and from London, and the stress of the trip, though, that too has not been announced. Also, I should say here in the United States today, US President Joe Biden putting out a tribute statement for Prince Philip and then having this to say to reporters in the Oval Office.
I think he's going to be missed, particularly in the United Kingdom. But 99 years old, he never slowed down at all, and which I admire the devil out of.
18 US presidents have been elected through the life of Prince Philip. 6 of them remain alive today. All of them issued tributes for the Duke of Edinburgh today. Guys?
Tim Lester in California, force of habit. Thank you.
Australia's Governor-General and political leaders past and present have paid their own tributes to Prince Philip. The Queen's representative in Australia calling his passing a sad and historic day.
For Prince Philip, a tribute on behalf of the nation.
I extend our deepest condolences to Her Majesty and her family.
Governor-General David Hurley remembering a man who gave his life to service.
We give thanks for the Duke of Edinburgh's service, his loyal and loving devotion to Her Majesty.
In the official condolence book, Prime Minister Scott Morrison and wife Jenny writing, the Duke was a steadfast man, a man of honour, service, duty and loyalty.
His presence and service, a reassurance, a reminder of the stability we so often need in a world that can be so uncertain.
Prince Philip visited Australia over 20 times, many of those on solo visits. Most recently in 2011, alongside the Queen, their farewell tour. A man known for his humour and sometimes loose tongue.
He had a great sense of humour. He gave short shrift to political correctness when he encountered it.
But also for his enduring devotion to his wife, the Queen.
Prince Philip was always destined to be two or three steps behind, but he did that with extraordinary grace and flair.
The man dubbed her strength and stay, now gone.
But we also, Your Majesty, say to you as a Commonwealth, let us also now be your strength and stay.
Flags around the country were flown at half-mast today, including here at Parliament House, a mark of respect for a man that served the Commonwealth for over 7 decades.
God save our gracious Queen. Long live our noble Queen. God save our Queen.
Taylor Aiken, 7 News.
That 41-gun salute to the Duke of Edinburgh in Canberra that we began the bulletin with has just concluded. Soldiers from Australia's Federation Guard, made up from the Army, Navy and Air Force, fired the shots from 6 howitzer cannons. The salute is a tradition of the armed forces. Well, still to come in 7 News, Prince Philip's 4 children pay tribute to their father and his remarkable legacy.
And we hear from the Australian reporter whose cheeky question earned the ire of the Duke of Edinburgh. That's next.
Are you missing out? The $258 discount on your electricity bill. How you can get a better deal on 7 News, Sunday.
At Spotlight, a home is what you make it. Save 30 to 60% off all ready-to-hang indoor blinds, 30 to 60% off all ready-to-hang curtains, 40% off made-to-measure shutters. So decorate it, celebrate it and create it for less. Sale must end Tuesday. At Spotlight, it's what you make it.
Get moving, Australia. New Cocoa Pops Golden Gaytime flavours here, with a delightfully delicious toffee chocolatey taste. Try new Cocoa Pops Golden Gaytime flavour, just like a chocolate milkshake, only crunchy.
More Australian pet owners and their dogs love NexGuard Spectra. The most complete parasite protection in one tasty chew. NexGuard.
It's hard work to consistently outperform. At Care Super, we understand what it takes. While some think it's about being faster or stronger, for us, it's about being smart with your super. We're constantly adapting to deliver superior long-term performance for our members. That's how we've consistently outperformed other super funds over the long term.
Times have been tough on small business, so Visa wants to help connect consumers with small businesses that need your support. It's called Where You Shop Matters, and it's about making a conscious decision, because where you shop can make a real difference.
In these uncertain times, funding your lifestyle in retirement is becoming harder. But for over 15 years, HomeSafe Wealth Release has helped senior homeowners do just that, and without going into debt. Thousands of HomeSafe Wealth Release customers have used the equity in their homes to pay off debt, renovate, or just to live on. See how HomeSafe can help you by visiting homesafe.com.au or call 1300 307 059. Terms and conditions apply.
A murder, and only my singular intellect can solve it.
Will Ferrell is
Sherlock Holmes.
Holmes and Watson. Premieres tonight on 7.
This is a live shot of Windsor Castle, where Prince Philip is now lying in rest as Britain wakes to a new day following the death of the Duke of Edinburgh.
The Duke of Edinburgh's 4 children have paid tribute to him as the rock of their family. They spoke fondly of Prince Philip's extraordinary flair and someone who'd always encouraged and supported them.
I think he'd probably want to be remembered as, as an individual in his own right, really. His energy was astonishing. in supporting my mama and doing it for such a long time.
I think it was always a challenging role to take, but he's done it with the most extraordinary flair and an extraordinary tact and diplomacy. He's never, ever tried to overshadow the Queen in any way, shape or form. And I think he's always been there as that rock in the Queen's life.
And certainly within his family, that was exactly the same.
He treated everybody as an individual and gave them the respect that he felt they were due as individuals.
It's so difficult to put a legacy on somebody like that because he's been in society, for society, with society, alongside the Queen for so many years.
My father was always a great source of support and encouragement. It was and guidance all the way through.
What he's done has amounted to an astonishing achievement, I think.
Prince Philip visited Australia 21 times, but sometimes his encounters with the media weren't always smooth sailing. Here's Louisa Cheatley.
Well, I'm here with retired journalist David Johnston, who had an interesting encounter with Prince Philip. David, tell us what happened.
Well, he was here to promote one of the organisations he represented, and at the time it was when Prince Charles was getting a lot of publicity about talking to his plants, and that was quite a colourful story. And I thought I might get a witty reply if I said to Prince Philip, did he talk to his plants? So I asked the question, and he went, "Where are you from, son?" And I said, "Channel 10, sir." And he said, "I should have known."
Were you shocked by his response?
Sort of shocked. Not totally surprised, but I got the sort of reaction that we all hoped for.
And what's your reaction to his passing?
Well, I think he served Britain extraordinarily well for so many years. I think he found it hard to be 3 steps behind the Queen all the time, but there's no doubt that he had a lifetime of service, and I think he'll be missed for that.
A very interesting story indeed. Thank you so much, David.
Well, still to come in 7 News, Prince Philip remembered as Australia's newest Navy ship is commissioned.
And campers and ships flee as a cyclone bears down on the West Australian coast. That's next.
Free holidays. Pay next to nothing for experiences of a lifetime. How you can cash in right now with travel incentives. Plus, cashbacks, coupons, codes, the discounts and bargain prices you can use right now. How to save a small fortune on everyday shopping. And this week's forecast, raining cash. With tens of thousands to give away every day on Sunrise.
A little goes a long way at Macca's. Grab a hamburger for $2 and for a limited time, a McFlurry for just $2. Part of our best ever loose change menu.
Strangers in the night, exchanging glances, wondering in the night, what were the chances we'd be sure?
Dry skin can need more than a lotion. E45 cream is a therapeutic moisturiser that helps soften your skin and creates an effective barrier to reduce skin dryness, even in eczema. Experience the E45 effect.
I'm back dominating the paint. And I'm all over the Sydney Quaddy. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Not you.
PointsBet, it's shacking easy.
Whoa, grizzly bear. I got this. What? Oh, it's leaving. You can't resist the call of Smiths.
For tough pain relief, my go-to is Panadol Extra. Because if I don't, with my migraine headaches, I'm kind of useless in the kitchen. It's good to know you can still help out the people who need you. Together, let's rethink care.
You love your dog,
But are you giving them food made with real wholesome ingredients? Try Farmers Market. It's made with Australian meat and quality ingredients for wholesome nutrition. And for the closest thing to homestyle cooking, try Farmers Market Homestyled Shreds. It's an Australian first in fresh pet food, found only in the pet fridge. Made with quality ingredients cooked gently for a convenient, ready-to-serve meal. For farm-to-bowl pet food, try Farmers Market. Brand power, helping you buy better.
Welcome back. Prince Philip's special connection with the Royal Australian Navy was celebrated today during an official ceremony to unveil the Navy's newest ship. Our reporter Cameron Price has the details.
Good afternoon. Flags atop the Navy's newest ship were at half-mast today in memory of the Duke of Edinburgh, who had a special connection with the Royal Australian Navy. In 1940, the then Prince of Greece first visited Australia on board a British warship, staying at Garden Island, where today he was remembered at the official commissioning of HMAS Supply.
Our thoughts are with Her Majesty, the Queen and her family, who have lost a beloved husband, father, grandfather and great-grandfather.
In 1988, during the bicentenary, the Duke was appointed a companion in the military division of the Order of Australia, including service as an Admiral of the Australian Navy. So it was a very different ceremony today to officially welcome the Navy's newest ship into service. The combat support ship designed to resupply and refuel warships at sea, but also able to carry stores of humanitarian aid in times of disaster relief. HMAS Supply to begin sea trials early next month.
In other news, it appears millions of Aussies will have to wait longer for a COVID vaccine as the government scrambles to reorganise our national rollout. It comes after the AstraZeneca vaccine was linked to rare blood clots and is now no longer recommended for people under 50. With no new local cases, restrictions continue to ease. Sydney's Royal Easter Show has lifted its cap on daily visitor numbers, increasing by 10,000 to a total limit of 70,000 per day.
Victoria has its first COVID case in hotel quarantine since welcoming back international arrivals. The traveller arrived on board a Doha flight on Thursday and was transferred to a health hotel after testing positive last night.
3 times the government said they've got it right in the past and they haven't. We're all crossing fingers the government has learned from its mistakes.
The case comes as restrictions in the state are further eased to allow 100% capacity in small-seated venues.
A tropical cyclone and tropical low are predicted to hit the West Australian coast this weekend. Thousands of holiday makers have fled Geraldton and nearby areas. Ships have also been evacuated.
We've had 3 main priorities, and that's safety of personnel, the protection of infrastructure and being ready to recommence shipping.
Category 2 tropical cyclone Saroja is likely to make landfall tomorrow night. The dance of the two systems around each other is known as the Fujiwara effect.
Time for a check on today's sport now. Matt Shervington is here. Matt, hello to you. Big win for the Titans today.
Yeah, that's right, Michael. And the Knights were destroyed by a runaway giant named David Fifita on the Gold Coast this afternoon. Like it was under 8s, the 21-year-old scored his first try straight from a tap. Then it became a nightmare for Kalen Ponga in his comeback from a shoulder reconstruction. Fifita resembled the great 2-16, their 3rd win from 5 games. Panthers back Stephen Crichton was fined for his post-try antics in last night's 30-10 win over the Raiders. And Penrith fans mocked Canberra with their own version of the Viking clap. The Panthers are 5-0 for the first time and now have won 20 straight regular season wins.
I think we started this year with a lot more belief than we started last year.
Daly Cherry Evans' wonky last-second field goal broke Manly's duck 13-12 over the woeful Warriors. The Western Bulldogs remain undefeated this season with a 19-point win over Brisbane. Tim English was an unlikely target up forward, kicking 3 goals for the Dogs in Ballarat. The Lions tried to close the gap late with this incredible goal from Joe Danaher, but Tom Liberatore put the game out of reach late.
Liberatore, 15 seconds left. Bang! Puts the full stop on it.
Last night, Port Adelaide held on for a 2-point win over Richmond, but scans today confirmed young star Xavier Dersma suffered a PCL injury. On a huge day of racing at Royal Randwick, the James Cummins-trained Cascadian has taken out the prestigious $3 million Doncaster Mile in a thrilling finish.
Ice Bath along the rails. It's Ice Bath and Cascadian. Ice Bath, Cascadian. I think Jamie Kerr's won it.
Cascadian just pipping Ice Bath from Dalasan. On her first ride at Randwick, jockey Jamie Carr claimed Doncaster on a day that featured $9 million in prize money. Mark Leishman is right in the hunt for the green jacket at the Masters. Justin Rose stalled at 7 under, and Leishman's just 2 back, the best of 4 Aussies to make the cut. The 37-year-old Victorian had 3 birdies on the front and back nines in a 5 under 67.
Couldn't be more excited. This is why I came here.
One of the best in the world from close range, Cameron Smith slipped 5 off the pace with a dumbfounding double bogey at 15. Jason Day missed the cut with Rory McIlroy and defending champ Dustin Johnson for company.
Oh, goodness.
And that's all the sport for now. We'll have more footy and sport to come at 6, guys.
Look forward to that. Thank you very much for that. Well, still to come in 7 News, we take a look at the royal romance between Prince Philip and Queen Elizabeth.
And the principal of Prince Philip's old school talks about their star pupil. That's next.
Hello. How you doing?
Beck Hewitt has just one day till she takes to the dance floor.
We're running out of time.
Will she be ready in time?
Easy, right?
I've forgotten it already.
Dancing with the Stars All-Stars starts tomorrow at 7.
As you journey through life, it's important to stay active. That's why I use BioGlan Active Magnesium to support my energy levels and muscle and bone health. There's also magnesium powder to reduce muscle cramps when dietary intake is inadequate, magnesium plus curcumin with anti-inflammatory action, and magnesium recovery oil for muscle aches. So you can keep doing the things you love. Try BioGlan Active Magnesium. It's formulated for you and me.
The NRMA is Australia's largest roadside assistance network.
I locked my keys in the...
There you go.
Thanks.
Too easy.
We get you moving every time, no matter where you are. This is roadside assistance.
Let me guess. eBay Tuesdays?
Best day to save on heaps of things, like hair straighteners.
Wow. It's really straight. Look at that one.
Very easy for you to set up a smart home at Bunnings.
Smart Light Starter Kit, only $290. Alex Smart Adapter, just $17.50.
Where you find a competitor's lower price on the same stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%. Shop at Bunnings wherever you are, whenever you want.
Did someone say KFC?
I don't care.
When frequent heartburn kept waking me up at night, enough was enough. So I tried Nexium 24-hour.
Unlike antacids that often require multiple doses per day, Nexium 24-hour is better. Just 1 tablet a day can provide 24-hour protection. Live life less interrupted.
Bread is a part of life, so why not make life poppier, crustier, and more enjoyable, down to the very last crumb. Abbott's Bakery. Every bit better.
Welcome back to our special coverage. This is a live shot of Windsor Castle, where the Queen is currently in mourning for her husband, the Duke of Edinburgh. You can see a line of officials there forming a guard to the entrance to the castle. A new day is beginning in Britain, and the outpouring of grief for Prince Philip is growing, with tributes being left at Buckingham Palace. Sarah Greenhalgh is there. Sarah, did the Duke of Edinburgh's death come as a surprise?
And good evening. It was a surprise in the sense that no one knew, of course, when this would happen, but it certainly didn't shock people here in Britain nor around the world. Prince Philip was 99 years of age. He had, of course, just spent a full month, 28 nights, in 2 hospitals undergoing heart surgery. He did look quite frail when he was released from hospital when he returned to Windsor Castle 3.5 weeks ago. But this news, of course, is of enormous sadness to people here in Britain. He became an unofficial father figure to so many. He was in the public eye sky for more than 7 decades. Even though most people here had never met the Duke of Edinburgh, they felt like they personally knew him. One woman I spoke to yesterday, Joyce, said he was a part of my family. I have grown up with him. He has always been there. The palace is trying to discourage the British public, however, sadly, from coming here, from laying flowers and bringing cards as they try and prevent crowds from gathering due to ongoing COVID-19 restrictions in this country. We are still in some form of lockdown, with some restrictions only set to ease on Monday, but many people felt compelled, instinctively, like they needed to be here to show their support for the royal family and for the Queen. So huge sadness here, and no doubt, judging by the amount of tributes left yesterday, there will be a huge amount of traffic to the royals family's official website, where a condolence page has been set up.
Thanks so much, Sarah.
Well, it is arguably one of the greatest love stories of all time. A teenage crush that flourished into a deep friendship and a marriage that would last more than 7 decades. The Queen and Prince Philip were known for their devotion to each other, a genuine partnership in public and private.
November 1947, a princess marries a dashing young naval officer and a nation is uplifted from Britain's post-war gloom. A marriage based on love, they chose one another. Their special connection, so often captivating.
One of the things that's always fascinated me about Philip is that, firstly, his amazing relationship with the Queen, the way they worked a room, for example, if you saw this, it was almost as though there was some unspoken bond between them.
There was, and it lasted 73 years. But when Princess Elizabeth's engagement to Philip Mountbatten was first announced, the palace courtiers weren't happy.
Why is she not marrying a wholesome Scotsman? Why is she marrying this penniless Greek, this unknown, boisterous Greek? Ooh, the court couldn't think of a more unsuitable consort for the future Queen.
There's no doubt they proved the doubters wrong, but like any marriage, there were hurdles.
In Britannia, there were quite a few moments when, they'd have a little row, and she'd say, I'm going to shut myself in my cabin, and I'm not coming out until it's cooled down.
How did you find out whether or not he was in a better mood?
By him stomping in or out.
Two strong characters whose devotion to one another has been obvious throughout their public life.
They make a unique team together. We're never rivals. He was always supporting her.
A love that was built to last. Nikki Hayden, 7 News.
Able, dynamic, popular, naughty, but never nasty. That was Prince Philip's report card as one of the original pupils of the Gordonstown School in North East Scotland. He said the school shaped his life. He was named cricket and hockey captain as well as head boy.
A lone piper's lament. The flowers of the forest played and the school flag was lowered to half-mast for the first time in almost 50 years. This Highland tribute was the Gordonstown School's own way to honour the passing of one of their own. Long before he was a prince or a duke, the young Philip arrived here at Gordonstown in September of 1934. He was a 13-year-old child who had a nomadic life across Europe and a troubled upbringing. But it was here at Gordonstown in Moray where he says he became a man. He was among the school's first ever pupils, where they still keep a record of his early report cards and reflections from his teachers. The current principal at Gordonstown reveals this insight into some of Philip's early misadventures.
It says that he got into a fair number of scrapes. He was naughty, but never nasty.
At Gordonstown, it was the school's founder, Kurt Hahn, who truly inspired Prince Philip with an education that went beyond the classroom. There were early morning runs through the Moray Hills, cold showers, and sailing was part of the education here. Philip took the school schooner all the way over to Norway on one trip, and Kurt Hahn introduced the young Duke to a life of service at Gordonstown that leaves a legacy well beyond these school grounds. Prince Philip left a presence here. He was cricket captain, hockey captain and school guardian. He thrived so much he decided to send all his children to Gordonstown to follow in his footsteps. Here he is dropping off a young Prince Charles to start life at the boarding school, though Charles famously found the physical challenges here quite miserable. The school's latest cricket captain, though, has reaped the benefits of the Duke's bursary to open up this education to a whole new generation.
I think, in honesty, it's life-changing. I think this is such a unique place that if you were to go to any other educational establishment, you wouldn't get the opportunities that you get to do here.
Today, on the campus he helped build, the Duke of Edinburgh was remembered.
Still to come in 7 News, floral tributes grow outside Windsor Castle as Britons mourn Prince Philip.
And his legacy remembered, especially for the Duke of Edinburgh award scheme that encouraged a life of adventure for so many.
Are you missing out? The $258 discount on your electricity bill.
The cheapest deal is now staring you in the face.
The price drop, not reflected in most Sydney power bills.
Up to 32% less.
Hidden loopholes, the immediate savings, how you can get a better deal on 7 News, Sunday.
Super easy to set up a smart home through Bunnings.
Smart digital deadbolt, only $309. Alex Smart Globe, just $23.98.
Where you find a competitor's lower price and the same stocked item will beat it by 10%. Shop at Bunnings wherever you are, whenever you want.
Today we'll be offering... They're gone. What do you mean they're gone? The snacks. They're gone. Missing. Well, they have to be here somewhere. They're not here. They can't just get up and walk away.
All right, only 13 more hours to go.
New M&Ms, now with crunchy caramel inside.
Looks like members are getting free and faster deliveries with eBay Plus.
It's like the Fast and the Furious in here.
I found the Furious.
Oh. Shut up and take my money.
More Australian pet owners and their dogs love NexGuard Spectra. The most complete parasite protection in one tasty chew. NexGuard.
For tough pain relief, my go-to is Panadol Extra. Because if I don't, with my migraine headaches, I'm kind of useless in the kitchen. It's good to know you can still help out the people who need you. Together, let's rethink care.
This is simple. This is energy. This is Simply Energy, and this is our Simply Energy Saver Plan, with a guaranteed discount on electricity and gas to help you save on energy. Sign up at simplyenergy.com.au.
For plumper-looking skin, try Olay Retinol Night Serum from Chemist Warehouse. It uses a gentler bioavailable retinoid that penetrates deep into the skin. Olay Retinol Night Serum is $29.99. Live, look, feel fabulous at Chemist Warehouse.
At Spotlight, a home is what you make it. Save 40% off all fabric by the metre. 40% off all Singer sewing machines and overlockers. Save 20 to 40% off the entire range of yarn. So decorate it, celebrate it and create it for less. Sale must end Tuesday. At Spotlight, it's what you make it.
Brand new.
Christmas trees are like priests. You know, the balls are just for decoration.
And naughtier than ever. Mrs. Brown.
Hello.
Monday on 7.
This program is proudly brought to you by the Sydney Royal Easter Show. Book your tickets at eastershow.com.au.
The Queen has begun 8 days of official mourning for Prince Philip at Windsor Castle. Europe Brio Chief Hugh Whitfeld's in Windsor. Hugh, hello to you again. Prince Charles, we understand, has visited.
Yeah, Michael, in the hours following the announcement, the Prince of Wales drove from his home at Highgrove in Gloucestershire, about 90 minutes here to Windsor Castle to be with his mother, now a widowed Queen. They are, of course, very private moments of grief between a mother and son, mourning the loss of a husband, father, grandfather and great-grandfather. The announcement was made from here at Windsor Castle in a statement released by Her Majesty around midday local time here on Friday. The announcement said that the Queen announces the death of her beloved husband, His Royal Highness, the Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. His Royal Highness passed away peacefully this morning. That's Friday morning at Windsor Castle. Further announcements will be made in due course. The royal family join with people around the world in mourning his loss. Those announcements we expect in the next 24 hours to include further details, including the timing of Prince Philip's funeral, which will be held here at Windsor Castle. Michael.
Hugh Whitfield there at Windsor. Thank you.
Prince Philip used his position to support more than 800 charities throughout his life. He was a passionate conservationist, but was most proud of the Duke of Edinburgh Award, a program to enrich the lives of children around the world.
The main purpose of the scheme is to help boys to find activities which will give them pleasure and satisfaction.
A purpose close to his own heart. Prince Philip launched the Duke of Edinburgh Award in 1956. It expanded to more than 140 nations. 775,000 Australians are among the 4 million young people to have benefited.
People who are living in deprived areas who don't have opportunities, you have to, in a sense, provide that challenge.
The Duke spent his life giving back. He was patron or president of more than 800 organisations. From cycling lessons for children to a kayaking club, even flying scholarships for teenagers.
The photographer is Prince Philip, wildlife enthusiast of international repute.
A man ahead of his time, he was also a passionate conservationist. Here on safari in Kenya in 1971.
All of these animals and birds are within measurable distance of being exterminated unless something happens.
Prince Philip used his status to raise awareness, becoming president of the World Wildlife Fund.
He recognised the sheer scale of destruction that we have been wreaking on our planet, and he importantly wanted to protect it for future generations. The fact that it's up the agenda today is part of his legacy.
Sir David Attenborough first met the Duke in the 1940s when they were in the Royal Navy. Here they are together in 2019. Sir David says the Duke's legacy is the evolution and survival of the royal family.
Royalty in an indefinable way has modernised itself, and in that evolutionary process the Duke of Edinburgh played a very, very important part.
A legacy that lives on in the people and organisations he inspired. The former Prime Minister John Howard met Prince Philip on many occasions and today paid tribute to him, saying not only did he uphold tradition, but did it while allowing his personality to shine through.
This ends what can only be described as a partnership for the ages. They were together for, 73 years. Through the years, through several generations, 3 generations, I guess, Prince Philip was always destined to be 2 or 3 steps behind. But he did that with extraordinary grace and flair and intelligence. He combined, if I could put it this way, the obligations of the office, the privilege of serving as the Queen's consort, with an individual capacity to make his mark. He had a great sense of humour. He gave short shrift to political correctness when he encountered it, and that endeared him to millions of people. So this is an occasion, obviously, of sadness, but it's also an occasion to salute and honour a remarkable marriage, a remarkable partnership in service, and to again say how valuable, how strengthening, how reassuring that marriage, that partnership has been to the Queen's role, both as the Queen of Australia and also as the head of the Commonwealth.
Former Prime Minister John Howard there. Still to come in 7 News, a tribute from Harry and Meghan. Will they now fly back to Britain?
And sometimes gaff-prone, but Prince Philip's wit and humour always shone through. That is next.
Free holidays. Pay next to nothing for experiences of a lifetime. How you can cash in right now with travel incentives. Plus, cashbacks, coupons, codes, the discounts and bargain prices you can use right now. How to save a small fortune on everyday shopping. And this week's forecast, raining cash. With tens of thousands to give away every day on Sunrise.
A little goes a long way at Macca's. Grab a hamburger for $2. And for a limited time, a McFlurry for just $2. Part of our best ever loose change menu.
If pain in heel, knee or lower back reoccurs, your feet could be the source of the pain. Try Scholl In-Balance Orthotic Insoles. They help reduce stress in the lower body to help relieve pain. Endorsed by the Australian Podiatry Association.
Get back on the road again. Buy the Daily Telegraph today, scan the QR code and enter for your chance to win a year of free fuel worth $5,000. And you could be a lucky winner of a $150 fuel voucher. Only with the Daily Telegraph. Conditions apply.
For plumper looking skin, try Olay Retinol Night Serum from Chemist Warehouse. It uses a gentler bioavailable retinoid that penetrates deep into the skin. Olay Retinol Night Serum is $29.99. Live, look, feel fabulous at Chemist Warehouse.
Hey there.
Legend tells of your incredible NBN plans.
iiNet Superfast NBN plans come packed with flexible features, optional fetch entertainment and call packs, and $0 NBN activation fee on either a no lock-in or 6-month contract. Hello, iiNet.
I didn't have to climb all the way up here, did I?
Call 131917 to make the switch today.
Dry skin can need more than a lotion. E45 cream is a therapeutic moisturiser that helps soften your skin and creates an effective barrier to reduce skin dryness, even in eczema. Experience the E45 effect.
When frequent heartburn kept waking me up at night, enough was enough. So I tried Nexium 24-hour.
Unlike antacids that often require multiple doses per day, Nexium 24-hour is better. Just one tablet a day can provide 24-hour protection. Live life less interrupted.
You love your dog, but are you giving them food made with real wholesome ingredients? Try Farmers Market. It's made with Australian meat and quality ingredients for wholesome nutrition. And for the closest thing to home-style cooking, try Farmers Market Home-Styled Shreds. It's an Australian first in fresh pet food, found only in the pet fridge. Made with quality ingredients cooked gently for a convenient, ready-to-serve meal. For farm-to-bowl pet food, try Farmers Market. Brand power, helping you buy better.
A paradise island. A mysterious murder.
That happened in broad daylight.
How dedicated detectives used groundbreaking DNA technology to track down the Norfolk Island killer.
Crime Investigation Australia. Most Infamous. Sunday 8:30 on 7.
Harry and Meghan have given a very short tribute to Prince Philip from their California home. Tim Lester is at Montecito, where the Duke and Duchess of Sussex now live. Tim, what did they say?
Well, Ange, this was a very simple one-line statement used as their front page on their website, in fact, saying, paying tribute to Harry's grandfather for his service and saying he'll be greatly missed. Many, I think, on social media found the comments to be unusually brief and lacking in any particular sympathy. Now they look to the question of whether Harry and Meghan will be making the journey back to Buckingham Palace. We've just got a street cleaning truck going through the streets of Montecito at 1 a.m, so there you go. And most royal pundits believe that the journey will be made by Prince Harry, that he'll want to be there for a grandfather that he was very close to and a grandmother that he has a great deal of respect for. They believe it's more likely, though, that Meghan will remain here in Montecito, given that she's roughly 2/3 of the way through her pregnancy. Also from the United States today, tributes from all 6 surviving US presidents for Prince Philip. Guys?
OK, thanks so much, Tim Lester.
Well, Prince Philip will be best remembered for his service, supporting the Queen and representing the royal family in public appearances. But in interviews, outings and events, he brought his own touch of wit, leaving his audience either laughing or lost for words.
In a joint interview with Prince Edward on the Duke of Edinburgh Awards, Prince Philip spoke his mind.
He's got a gold award. But for that, he would have been a dropout.
Yeah, probably. My father was always capable of being able to manage
interviews in a way and say things that the rest of us always dreamed we could say.
On a tour of Australia in 2002, he asked if Aborigines still threw spears at each other. He told Canadians he didn't come there for his health. Russians, they'd murdered half his family. He also called a wannabe space cadet fat and told Elton John to turn the microphone off.
And I just said that I worked in a club, and then he asked, oh, what, a strip club?
What did you say to that?
Obviously I said no. And then he said, oh, it's a bit too cold today anyway.
He could be impatient, asking a photographer to take the bloody picture and a driver to speed up, spotting a toddler on a bouncy ball, opening a sexual health centre in London. He remarked, at least you're all legitimate now.
It was fun, a little bit risque, and I think we probably all felt, thank goodness there are people like that in the world.
In 2017, he ended his royal engagements, and there was a moment of humour there too.
I'm sorry, you're standing down. I'll stand up. You can take it from me that the Queen has the quality of tolerance and abundance.
Prince Philip has always maintained his comments were made in private, but it was his cheeky side that shone through and will be best remembered.
For this very private of public couples, quite a romantic gesture.
Hayden Nelson, 7 News.
Still to come in 7 News, we'll have more on the passing of Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh.
Look at this bunch. All smiles, confident, full of hope.
That's joy. That just gave me joy.
Until they meet who they're up against.
Oh, you kidding? No.
Which chaser is out to wipe the field? New The Chase. Weekdays on 7.
Hi, I'm beauty editor Annie Miller, and I've compared and tested many beauty collagen products. My favourite to help lift, firm and reduce wrinkles is Nature's Way Beauty Collagen Mature Skin Tablets. With twice as much collagen, plus vitamin A from retinol, it helps reduce wrinkles and increase firmness from within where creams can't reach. Rediscover youthful-looking skin with Nature's Way Beauty Collagen Mature Skin Tablets.
Australia has less than 1% of the world's usable water. Let's stop hand washing and use our dishwashers more often to save up to 200 litres of water a week. And when you commit to this, Finish will donate water to farmers. Let's promise to make hand washing dishes history.
It starts with the little things. A little blue bag that can do so much. A little care to do things the right way. To waste less. To conserve more. Little seeds planted for the future. And suddenly, those little things aren't so little anymore. IKEA.
Your local Stihl dealer is here to help you make the most of autumn. With battery blowers from only $179 and chainsaws from only $249. Find your local dealer at stihldealers.com.au.
Do you have heartburn or indigestion? Gaviscon Dual Action relieves them fast. It neutralises excess stomach acid and forms a protective barrier that blocks acid reflux. Gaviscon Dual Action, now in mixed berry tablets.
Domino's Everyday Value range is now 3 times as good because it's now in 3 sizes, starting from an unbelievable $3. All your favourite value range recipes now from just $3. Domino's all-new value range. Bring it in.
When your life changes, your insurance should too.
Whenever it does, we'll be here for it.
Yui, you insured.
Could we put this whole thing aside?
I'm trying to understand what else I have to do to make Christian pay.
Revenge is a killer.
Is it justice you're looking for, or is it revenge?
Anyone could be his next victim.
Oh, Matt, what's going on?
Your life's in my hands now.
Home moment away. Next week at 7 on 7.
This program is proudly brought to you by the Sydney Royal Easter Show. Book your tickets at eastershow.com.au.
Well, thank you for your company. We'll be back in an hour with a special edition of the latest from 7 News.
Now it's time for your 6 p.m. news.
A life of duty. Tonight, the death of Prince Philip at the age of 99. The Queen in mourning for the man who stood by